Hey folks, happy Wednesday to you. Our prayer calendar on this day, on Wednesday, July 21st, invites us to be praying for second grade students, faculty, and staff. If you're here in Chula Vista and you have kids in the school districts, the public school districts here, you know that school starts today. And so it's real to be praying for second graders today and all the challenges that they will have and families will have and just changing the schedules, but then post-COVID, what this looks like. And it's not really post-COVID yet. We're still in the midst of this variant and these age kids can't be vaccinated. And so a lot to be praying for. I want to invite you to open in your Bible to the Gospel of Mark, chapter 7, verse 24. Another passage today about a story of that contains a child and a story that contains a person who is surprisingly a person of faith. You know, one of the motifs in the Gospel of Mark is that the people who we might expect to be people of faith, temple leaders, Pharisees, Sadducees, disciples like Peter, they're the ones that are often found lacking in faith, and the people who we wouldn't expect to be people of faith, outcasts, lepers, people like the Jairus, the temple leader, people like the woman who is hemorrhaging for a dozen years, all kinds of people that we find them trusting and believing in Jesus. And so it's this motif of kind of the ones who should, don't, the ones who we have no expectation of, do. And this is another one of those stories. Mark chapter 7, verse 24. From there he set out and went away to the region of Tyre. He entered a house and did not want anyone to know he was there. Yet he could not escape notice. But a woman whose little daughter had an unclean spirit immediately heard about him, and she came and bowed down at his feet. Now the woman was a Gentile of Syrophoenician origin. She begged him to cast the demon out of her daughter. He said to her, "Let the children be fed first, for it is not fair to take the children's food and throw it to the dogs." But she answered him, "Sir, even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs." Then he said to her, "For saying that, you may go. The demon has left your daughter." So she went home, found the child lying on the bed, and the demon gone. Now, there's a lot of thoughts about this passage, and some through the years have said that Jesus was testing the woman because she was of Gentile faith and Jesus believed that he was a Messiah to the Jews. When the Gentiles come and ask for a blessing, he would say, if he believed that ministry was just to the Jews, that salvation was for the Jews and the Jews alone, he would say, "I'm here for the Jews, and you don't get any of this." But then she responds, well, and he calls her, right, the dogs don't get that. And then she points out that even the dogs beg and pick up the scraps from the kids, and he finds that she is faithful. So some have suggested that Jesus is testing her, and her answer shows an appropriate amount of faith. Some have suggested that Jesus' mind was changed by her insistence. Some have suggested that this is all a ploy to help us, the reader, understand better. And what these folks do is they point out the geography. You see, Tyre is way outside of Israel. So if Jesus is just here for the Jews, why is he way outside the area where the Jews live doing ministry? One might suggest that he was there doing ministry because he knew he was called to the world. And the story in the gospel is to help us understand that even people like the Syrophoenician woman's daughter gets a blessing from God. So it's not so much to help Jesus understand, it's to help us understand. So all kinds of theories about the story. The point is this: Jesus finds someone in need. In this case, it happens to be someone who's very different than him. But he finds someone in need, and he cares for them. You know, as we're praying for these children today, we know that children in our nation and world, really, because of the pandemic, are in great need as they go back to school this year, and all sorts of things that are changing and happening for them. And of course, as adults, when we have emotions of anxiety, because we're around a crowd, or fear about that, or anxiety about going into a strange place or a new place, we know how to express that. Kids don't. So if there's any possible way that you might be in relationship to children or family with children, how can you help to meet the needs of that child during this difficult transition from summer to the next school year? God bless. Have a great day.